Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is the subject of Rise of the Novel 18th and 19th Century and I am your instructor Sania Gilani. We are at our lecture number 12 and this is our 6th week on the topic of Pride and Prejudice. Today's topic is Themes of Love and Marriage in Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. For today, I will discuss themes in general from Austen's novel Pride and Prejudice. Then I will dive deep into the two central themes that are love and marriage. In Pride and Prejudice, Jane Austen weaves together a rich tapestry of themes that explore human behavior within the constraints of social structure. At its core, the novel examines the tension between the individual judgment and societal expectation, particularly through the interplay of pride and prejudice as forces that distort perception. Characters often form opinions based on their first impressions, class assumptions, and emotional biases, leading to misunderstanding and conflict. Austen uses irony and free indirect discourse to reveal how limited perspectives can shape reality, inviting readers to question the reliability of social norms and personal judgment alike. Closely connected to this is the theme of class and social hierarchy, which governs relationships, behaviors, and opportunities throughout the novel. The rigid stratification of early 19th century English society is reflected in characters' attitudes towards wealth, lineage, and propriety. Figures such as Lady Catherine de Bourgh embody aristocratic authority, while others navigate the pressures of maintaining respectability within more modest means. Jane Austen critiques this system by exposing the superficiality and by suggesting that true worth lies not in social rank but in moral integrity, intelligence, and self awareness. Another central concern of the novel is personal growth and self knowledge, most clearly seen in the development of Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. Both characters undergo significant moral transformation as they confront their own flaws. Elizabeth's tendency towards prejudice and Darcy's towards pride. This process of self realization underscores Jane Austen's broader message that true understanding, whether of oneself or others, requires humility and reflection. Ultimately, these themes converge to highlight the novel's enduring insight that human relationships are shaped as much by inner change as by external social forms. So, first, let's elaborate now the theme of love. Pride and Prejudice contains one of the most cherished love stories in English literature, the courtship between Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth. As in any good love story, the lovers must elude and overcome numerous stumbling blocks, beginning with the tensions caused by the lover's own personal qualities. Elizabeth's pride makes her misjudge Darcy on the basis of a poor first impression, while Darcy's prejudice against Elizabeth's poor social standing binds him, for a time, to her many other virtues. Of course, one could also argue that Elizabeth is guilty of prejudice and Darcy of pride. This title cuts both ways. Jane Austen, meanwhile, poses countless smaller obstacles to the realization of the love between Elizabeth and Darcy, including Lady Catherine's attempt to control her nephew, Miss Bingley's snobbery, Mrs. Bennet's idiocracy, and Wickham's deceit. In each case, anxieties about social connections or the desire for better social connections interferes with the workings of love. Darcy and Elizabeth's realization of a mutual and tender love seems to imply that Austen views love as something independent of these social forces, as something that can be captured if only an individual is capable of to escape the warping effects of the hierarchical society. Austen does sound some more realistic, or one could say cynical notes towards love, using the characters of Charlotte Lucas, who marries the buffoon Mr. Collins for his money, to demonstrate that the heart does not always dictate marriage. Yet with her central character, Austen suggests that true love is a force separate from society and one can conquer even the most difficult of circumstances. Next is the theme of love, a theme of marriage. Pride and Prejudice is a love story, but its author is also concerned with pointing out the inequality that governs the relationship between men and women and how it affects women's choices and options regarding marriage. Austen portrays a world in which choices for individuals are very limited, based almost exclusively on a family's social rank and connections. To be born a woman into such a world means having even less choice about whom to marry or how to determine the shape of one's life. The way that society controls and weakens women helped to explain in part Mrs. Bennet's hysteria about marrying off her daughters and why such marriages must always involve practical financial considerations. As members of the upper class, the Bennet sisters are not expected to work or make a career for themselves, yet, as women, they are not allowed to inherit anything. As a result, marriage is basically their only option for attaining wealth and social standing. Yet, Austen is also critical of women who marry solely for security, like Charlotte Lucas. The ideal for her is represented by Elizabeth Bennet, who refuses to trade her independence for financial comfort and, in the end, marries for love. The theme of love and marriage in Pride and Prejudice form the structural and ideological backbone of Jane Austen's narrative. Rather than presenting marriage as a singular or idealized institution, Austen offers a nuanced exploration of its various forms, exposing the social, economic, and emotional forces that shape marital relationships in early 19th century England. Through multiple contrasting unions, the novel interrogates what constitutes a successful marriage and challenges the conventions that often reduce it to a matter of financial security or social advancements. At one level, marriage in the novel is depicted as a social necessity, particularly for women, whose economic survival and social standing are closely tied to it. This reality is most clearly embodied in the character of Charlotte Lucas, whose pragmatic acceptance of Mr. Collins reflects a utilitarian view on marriage. For Charlotte, happiness is secondary to stability, and her decision underscores the limited choice available to women within a patriarchal society. Jane Austen presents this marriage without overt condemnation, yet its emotional barrenness serves as a subtle critique of unions based solely on convenience. In contrast, the relationship between Elizabeth Bennet and Fitzwilliam Darcy represents Austen's ideals of marriage, one founded on mutual respect, intellectual compatibility, and emotional growth. Their evolving love is not immediate or superficial, rather, it develops through conflict, self reflection, and moral transformation. By allowing both characters to overcome their flaws, Elizabeth's prejudice and Darcy's pride, Austen suggests that true love requires not only attraction but also self awareness and the capacity for change. Equally significant is the impulsive and imprudent union of Lydia Bennet and George Wickham, which illustrates the dangers of unchecked passion and the absence of moral responsibility. Their relationship, driven by desire and lacking genuine affection or respect, results in social disgrace and highlights the consequences of entering marriage without reflection or integrity. This stands in sharp contrast to the thoughtful development of Elizabeth and Darcy's bond. Similarly, the gentle and harmonious relationship between Jane Bennet and Charles Bingley represents a more traditional romantic ideal, characterized by mutual attraction and good nature. However, their susceptibility to external influence, particularly Darcy's initial interference, suggests that even seemingly perfect love requires firmness and independence to endure. Through this spectrum of relationships, Jane Austen ultimately redefines the concept of marriage. She critiques the notion that marriage should be governed by wealth, status, or impulsive desire, and instead advocates for a balance between rational judgment and genuine affection. Love, in Austen's vision, is neither purely emotional nor entirely practical. It is a harmonious blend of feeling and reason. In conclusion, the themes of love and marriage in Pride and Prejudice extend beyond the personal to the social and ideological. Jane Austen uses her character's relationship to expose the limitations imposed on women, to critique societal expectations, and to propose a model of marriage grounded in equality and mutual respect. By doing so, she transforms what might appear to be a conventional romantic narrative into a sophisticated commentary on human relationships and social values. Before I end this class, let's read a few lines from the text to support these two central themes. First quote is the opening line. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. It highlights the social and economic institution of marriage, not just the romantic side. But if you paid attention, men are not the ones in want of marriage, it's the women. Second quote is, happiness in marriage is entirely a matter of chance. This is a line by Charlotte Lucas, who reflects a pragmatic, pessimistic view on marriage. Third line is from Elizabeth Bennet. I am only resolved to act in that manner which will, in my own opinion, constitute my happiness. So this emphasizes her emotional choice for fulfillment in her marriage. Fourth line is by Mr. Darcy. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. It's a declaration of his love, though initially painted by pride. Another line by Elizabeth Bennet is, till this moment I never knew myself. So here there's a connection between love and self-realization and growth. Another line is, to be fond of dancing was a certain step towards falling in love. This is the start of the social season of the entire story. There's an advantage to be had in this discussion. Even though Pride and Prejudice is an old story, but there are certain things that are still reflective of today's society. Even today, there are many societies, including our own, where women do not have entire freedom when it comes to the constitution of marriage. So in the case of Pride and Prejudice, through different characters, Jane Austen shows how each individual has their own choice, and despite being together their entire lives, someone can make different choices when it comes to their choices about marriage. That is all for today's class, and I hope you understood today's topic. Till then, Allah Hafiz.